Welcome to AniMirror, the podcast where the wisdom of the animal kingdom meets the depth of self-awareness.
We're your hostesses, Dr. Melissa Sell and Amy Michelle. Together, we explore the profound ways animals reflect our inner world and reveal the patterns shaping our lives.
Through the lens of the 5 biological laws of the Germanic healing knowledge, we uncover the deeper truths behind our experiences and how they can guide us towards healing and growth.
We mix a little woo-woo with biology. We're responding to the call of the wild, attuning to the frequency of nature that Dr. Halmer himself called quintessence. Whether you're curious about the underlying meaning behind your pet's or frankly any animal's behavior, intrigued by nature's synchronicities, or seeking to break free from cycles of suffering, you're in the right place at the right time.
Each episode is an invitation to expand your awareness, discover new perspectives, and embrace the transformative power of the mirror animals and nature hold up for us.
So, come wildly curious and dare to open your heart in community out loud with us. And let's explore the fascinating interplay between the outer and inner worlds.
Welcome to
AniMirror, the new frontier.
Excellent. Well, hello and welcome everyone to a new episode of the AniMirror podcast. Today we have Victoria with us, and she has a 6-month-old puppy, and she wants to unpack a limp, and so that's what we will be doing today. So welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's so fun.
Let's add in the surprise, which you were so willing and gracious to offer. So today we were literally blessed with a solo, which is amazing. And we asked Victoria, anyone who's listening or watching, if we could do a podcast and a live. So everyone who's watching and listening, you'll be able to experience what the AniMirror live experience is like. We do not know, usually we don't know people coming on. We may have met them once or twice. And we dive in off the cuff, present biological adaptations, which even if you didn't know GNM, you would come with, I don't know what's going on with my animal. And we unpack it and we go from GNM to the woo-woo of AniMirror. So this is such a gift for all of us, literally listening, watching, but also personally. I always get a lot out of the live experiences. So thank you so much for your willingness, Victoria. And here, introduce yourself, your pup, and then roll whatever you want to share.
Yeah, of course. Such a gift to me. I was just explaining that I messaged Melissa this morning looking to book either a one-on-one or jump into this group session, which I was actually unsure if it was happening because my puppy Remy had, a pretty noticeable limp this morning that I was fairly trying to not worry about, but I was worrying about. So yeah, it just worked out so beautifully that it's the 3 of us today. So really appreciate your time. In terms of a little bit about me and Remy as well, we're both located in Ottawa, Canada. My fiance and I, we got Remy 6 months ago. We've been running our coaching business with a flagship physical location out of our home garage for the past 3 years now. Funny enough, our landlord at this house actually put up a for sale sign on our lawn last night. So very up in the air right now of what's next for us and, what we're going to be doing. But that is currently the story. So our coaching brand is Virtue and we work on that together. And Remy's our new mascot.
And how do you spell Remy's name for fun of lexigrams later?
Remy.
Okay. All right. And what, just for, giggles and details, what breed do you know about anything about his story before he arrived in your life? Any of those details?
So he's a blue and tan cane corso. The breed and breeder, honestly, I was very much, I don't want a dog. I don't want my freedom taken away by a dog. All of these fears I had. Andrew was really pushing for, he thought it would be a beautiful gift and help me overcome those fears and just add nothing but good happiness and love to our life. So really had to lean into trusting him on that, which I'm so glad I did now because he's literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. He's the best. In terms of the breed and about him before, don't really know too much aside from researching, generic stuff. So I guess it's an Italian Mastiff. they're intended to be very protective and fit this pretty funny description that I think doesn't match him at all because he's just like the biggest dope ever. The breeder, one of our really good friends, just recently got a puppy from the same breeder, and we fell in love with him, and he was just so sweet. So the breeder's actually located in California, and my best friend works there. So when he had turned 8 weeks old, my best friend was coming home for Christmas, happened to be flying from the same airport on the day that he turned 8 weeks. So I said, okay, it's probably meant to happen that way. If you could just put him in a carrier and smuggle him home for us, and she did. So that's the story of getting Remy here and where he came from.
Pretty meant to be.
I think
Okay, so now the thought of coming to AniMirror, why? Just as your background, why this versus something else? What drew you to the experience, whether it was private with Melissa or in the live experience as a group?
so. I come from what I'll call a very crunchy background. Give or take about 5 years ago, I pretty well broke out into cystic acne overnight. Since then, I really spent 5 years trying to heal that myself, quote, holistically. I just really didn't want pharmaceuticals or birth control or something like that. And that whole time, I kind of knew I'm going to figure this out, and then I'm going to teach other people how to do it as well. And I just turned over rocks, read every single book, podcast, everything you can imagine. I did it and I read it for that 5 year period until I found GNM. I actually heard Melissa on Kelly Brogan's podcast. It's how I found GNM. So since then, I've honestly, it clicked like a light bulb in that moment. I haven't questioned it. It's just been a process of trying to forget all the other things that I learned and knew before that. So yeah, this past year has been really transformative. And so when we got Remy, I just knew I want to do this with him the same way I'm trying to do with myself and my loved ones.
You've got really amazing before and after pictures of her transformation, and it's just so incredible. And yeah, when it clicks, and you're just like, yeah. And of course, you're going to raise your animal babies in the same way that you handle your own health symptoms and things that come up. And so, yeah, so since you've had him, have you had other, kind of GNM reflections and experiences of seeing, symptoms come up and relate them to what was going on?
I've definitely had my fair share of things. I think witnessing in myself is always this fun experiment. I feel like we could go through that laundry list, but for Remy specifically, the first that I noticed with him that he still does, and I think it's so adorable, is every time he's reunited with me or Andrew or this bed. Funny enough, when we first hopped on here to get on this call, he started hiccuping. Any hiccups, like anytime we are apart and we come back together. And I just think that's such a beautiful little moment of pause almost every day. When I hear the hiccups, I'm like, this is an emotional experience for you. It's kind of grounding and makes me slow down a little bit. So I love his hiccups.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, because hiccups with the diaphragm can be like physically, like to be separated from you is physically overwhelming. It overwhelms me physically to be away. And then when I see you and I'm with you and I'm reunited, when we're back in this cozy family bed together, what a resolution. That is really precious.
That's my favorite symptom of all, I think.
Well, yeah. Well, if you want to share a little more about this limp, like when you noticed it, which side it's on, what you think might be going on.
Yeah, so the limp, so I had a very chaotic month of travel actually. So I was in New York City launching a brand for a client. I believe I can pull up the dates, roughly April 9th to 11th. And when that trip had come up, I had been wanting to go see my friend in San Francisco, the one that brought Remy to us since literally November of last year. So when this trip came up, I was like, I'm going to be in the US. I may as well try to tack on going to see you at the same time. So I was initially trying to put it all together, not come home, just kind of put all the flights. And it didn't work. So I ended up having to fly back home from New York City on the Saturday. I had the Sunday to just do laundry, repack, and I left at like 3 a.m. on Monday morning. So I came back for a day where we were literally like just glue, snuggling all day. And I think he really didn't see it coming that I was going to leave again because I usually don't leave in general. So not only did I leave, but I like back to back left. And so I just got home on Wednesday morning this week. Andrew was, of course, trying to navigate running the gym and the house and take care of Remy and all those things while I'm gone. So Sunday and Monday was Easter kind of weekend in Canada. And he was celebrating with some family and also just leaning on them to get some care. So Sunday, Remy was playing with his sister's dog nearly all day, roughhousing. She's like a lot more high energy, rambunctious than he is. I feel like every dog is in comparison to him. And then Monday, he was playing with another one of our friends' dogs, just in an effort to find care, alleviate some of that responsibility. Same exact situation. This dog is very high energy, also a puppy. Literally, if I had to paint a picture of like Remy and this other dog, Murphy, they are polar opposites. It's hilarious. But they got along playing together. They had a lot of fun. But in the past, when he's played with Murphy, he's just so energetic and Remy's so not, that I think he felt very overwhelmed and like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, what's up with this guy? Can you chill? And then I heard from my friend that this time when they played, it was different and Remy kind of took more control and he was the one saying, no, you play with me. And it was a very different experience. So that was Monday. And then Tuesday midday is when the limps started. So I have a couple of theories and ideas in terms of what it could be, but that's kind of the backstory and the current symptom. And then the limp's been on and off since Tuesday, where when he sleeps or lays down for a long time, when he gets up, it's pretty bad. He doesn't really put much weight on it at all. So this morning it was at its quote worst when we woke up and he was really not putting weight on it, really having a hard time, which is when I messaged Melissa, obviously.
Okay, and which is it, front, back, right, left?
Back, right leg.
Okay, and have you happened to notice his handedness, his paw, which side he moves forward with first, or if he learns to shake, which side he prefers?
I want to say right because that just came into my mind when you said it, but for no logical reason, that was just intuitive.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So yeah, sometimes you kind of have to go with that because it is a little hard to suss out. But yeah, if you have a sense that it's right, we can go with that. And so that would be, his partner side and back leg. And so yeah, so we look strictly from that biological perspective, a limp. So if there's swelling, if there's pain, if it's like, oh, I can't really put much weight on this, we're looking at either motor or self-devaluation. So feeling stuck, or feeling I can't keep up, feeling, physically incapable. I'm not strong enough, fast enough. There's, like you said, all these high energy dogs around me, and I'm kind of more chill. I'm kind of more laid back, and I am, put in these situations. My mom's gone, so that's physically overwhelming to me that my mother is gone, and here I am, being put in these other, circles of animals to take the pressure off, right? So, so we also have to look at and we'll get to the AniMirror perspective of like, oh, what's going on with me? So here, even kind of going back to the first thing that you said about getting a dog was freedom taken away, so this, and what is, one of the things with the legs is like the ball and chain, feeling held back, feeling stuck, feeling, so even how you felt about being separated, it's like, oh, I was gone on a trip and then I'm home for 24 hours and then I'm gone again, like how were you feeling? Were you feeling, oh, this is that thing. This is that thing that I really didn't want about a dog. Was this, this thing kind of tying me to back home, feeling less free, less able to go and travel, and so here he is having his experience, his physical experience, right? And again, we could look at just the dimension of, well, he had some unusual playing experiences 2 days in a row with highly energetic dogs. He's kind of getting into it. So it could have simply been, self-devaluation about playing something that happened, on his level with the just with the animals that he was hanging out with. And we say, oh, okay, well, that was just this. But then when we see your connection to, did you feel bad about leaving him? Did you feel, kind of like stuck, like my heart is in Ottawa and here I am in San Francisco. And and I don't want him to feel bad. And I know that he misses me because I know that I love him so much. And we spent that whole day snuggling. And so, so that could have been the mirror perspective.
Yeah, and I find now with the travel this month, it's less of a feeling of when I leave almost mad that I have a dog and I don't get to go. It's like, I don't want to go because I have a dog. It's like the opposite effect where really my heart was in Ottawa, truly, on this trip. Like I had so many good moments and it was so fun, but whenever your mind leaves the present, it was going back to Ottawa and feeling for him. Like I knew he was not having the best time without me around. So that was a kind of like guilty worry feeling for sure.
Yeah. So here I am feeling, that a part of me is anchored here, but I'm, here, and every time because those compulsive thoughts, when I have a lull in my, moment, it's like, oh, where am I? Oh, my mind is going to Remy. Is he okay? How is he without me? Is he having a good? I know that he, because the dogs, they're just so devoted. They're so just like unconditionally like looking for you and loving you. But yeah, so when you have that division, of course it's going to show up in some mirror way in the physicality of the animal. It's just how it works.
He also has another symptom that's cropped up that maybe we could dive into as well. So, well, firstly, actually, before I left and while I was away, tick season has just become crazy here. And I pulled what I would call a pretty large one off the top of his head, the back of his head. First time I've ever had to do that. And that was a whole moment of trying to stay out of this previous paradigm that I was in and not be fearful about it and just pull it off and say, okay, it's off, it's done. That's it. The whole thing that's the end. That's the end. It's not take it, ship it somewhere, get it tested. Like it's not all these other, I don't even want to know how many other steps it would have been a year ago. But so the first one I pulled off myself. And then while I was away, Andrew said that he pulled off 3 at his parents' place. Like the other dogs were playing in the brush. It was kind of just like they, caught on while they were playing, came inside, saw it, pulled them off. No big deal. But it makes me think of his experience of that. Like, I don't think that would be a fun experience for any kind of bug or animal to like land on you and bite you. I would kind of maybe say that's an attack if I was having it happen to myself, which makes me think there's this spot on the right side of his shoulder that was like flaky, dry skin a little bit ago. And now it's like a raised bump, almost like reminds me of like dinosaur scales or something. It's like pretty funny looking. And yeah, trying to not go into fear on that and just whatever it is, it's just healing, some sort of program. But yeah, somewhere in my brain, I was like connecting this to the tick experience, and we've just been monitoring, and this has been on the list of who do I call about this? Do I call someone about this? Or do I just stay grounded and know that it's just fine the way it is?
So good. Yeah. So this, the ticks, and I couldn't even like the whole notion that you just mentioned of like shipping these ticks off somewhere over the last like 2 weeks. Yeah, it is tick season in here. We've pulled like 40 ticks off the dogs in 2 weeks, like shipping the like, so yeah, they come and more on our Pearl than on Klaus, which is interesting. It's like, oh, why does she get more ticks than him? And it's about separation conflicts because she wants to be outside more than he does. And we, bring her inside more frequently than she would like. And that, so we are noticing that she has this, this drive. She loves to be outside. And so, yes, getting rid, completely like deleting the file of, oh no, there's something scary and bad in this tick. Absolutely not. They're just part of nature. 4th biological law. They come, they have a job, they're serving a purpose. There's a reason. If you find them on you, I found some on me and I was like, oh, this makes sense. And just completely getting out of any fear and just seeing them all as a symbol. So yeah, if we've got this dry, flaky kind of situation on the shoulder, separation. So once again, how am I feeling separated? How am I feeling? I want to, be with you more of the time. I feel bad even leaving you, while I go and do sessions or whatever. If you have this little bit of separation conflict. And then, yeah, if there's a raised bump, that's probably now in the healing phase, flaky, dry, that's active separation conflict, a raised bump, tissue's refilling, tissue is restoring. So yeah, it will be super helpful for you to really just continue to get out of the idea that there's something bad or scary about the tick. It's like the tick is an AniMirror too. Like, what are you here to show me? What are you here to, if there's microbes that the dog needs or that the tick needs to take from the dog, it's like, this is, there's nothing to fear in nature. There isn't some scary bad bacteria that's going to get in your dog and cause some type of mystery illness, and just noticing. It's beautiful to see, oh, here's that old fear. And yes, I would have done things totally different a year ago, but here I am now, grounded, trusting, understanding what is this here to show me. And so that is, yeah, I think ticks right now. So it's great that this is coming up because I'm sure people all across the nation are dealing with the potential for tick fears and like, yeah, when I see them on me, it's like I don't even think about some kind of scary bad disease that they could be harboring that could get in me or get in my dog, because it just totally is not aligned with the truth of the biological laws. And so, yeah, I'm so happy this topic came up today.
Had to just ground down into that. And hearing you talk about it reminded me, we had a client come in this morning for a consult and a treatment with one of the practitioners that we bring in our house of like craziness that we're running right now. And he was talking to me, he was just meeting Remy for the first time, talking about how they used to have a dog, they're thinking about getting a dog again. They live in the country, there's like 40 deer in their backyard at all times and a bunch of turkeys, and talking about how the turkeys eat ticks. Have you heard of this? I thought this was so cool. Cool also how this happened right before we get on this magical mystery podcast. But he was saying how they don't want to get a dog right now because they live where there's so many deer and there's so many ticks. And so they're waiting for some sort of vaccine or medication to come out for humans because they're waiting to get a dog. But in the same sentence, he explained to me that they have all these beautiful wild turkeys on their property and how they only feed on ticks. And so I was trying to isn't that really cool that the turkeys eat the ticks? Doesn't that sound like kind of it was all meant to go that way? Like they're meant to be there without, pushing too hard. But that was a fun conversation, like probably 30 minutes before we got on this call.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Like the chicken, like every time I look out the window and I see the chickens, I was like, yeah, they're eating the ticks up. We were thinking about getting something they're called guinea fowl, which are like small little birds that are really, they eat the ticks. And so, yeah, so it's like there's this circle of life. Everything has a role, everything has a purpose. Yes, and we've got the deer and we've got the tick. There was a tick on the cow, and it's like I just pull it off and I don't get worried. Oh my goodness, is there something in the tick that's going to get in the milk and then I have to send it off to somewhere to be tested? No, this is nature. These things have always been around. They're always serving a purpose, and it makes sense if there's ticks on the cows if they're having separation conflicts, because since we moved, like our kind of setup is different. The cows, I used to be able to like pet them out the window of the house we were in before. That was one of the reasons I was like, do I want to move to a house where I can't pet my cows right out the window? Steve's like, it'll be okay. So, and now we've gotten into a rhythm of, how often we go over and to see them, but they have been getting less, contact and touches. They were used to being like, like pet dogs where they could be pet out the window. And so it's like, oh, I get it. They, if they're running separation conflicts, when that's happening, the bugs come to show us something, and so that is, yeah, so interesting. Let's wait around for some a vial of something that I could inject into me so I can, have this belief, this idea that I'm protected. I'm protected because I had the holy magic water sprinkled on me, injected into my body. And now the bad little ticks that, again, they've always been here. They're part of the circle of life. And yeah, really beautiful way to just say, how cool is that the turkeys eat up the ticks?
I had never heard of that before. It's like, that's uncanny. That's beautiful. I'm gonna be looking for turkeys in our yard now.
Yes, I love turkeys. Turkeys symbolize abundance to me.
Oh, beautiful. They are. It's a whole Thanksgiving thing, abundance.
Right? And they're epic. Yeah, we've been thinking about getting some turkeys
That'd
just
be
to
awesome.
have them, majestically roam around on the property.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, I want to unpack some things through the woo-woo AniMirror, if I may. You brought up, I'm going to go backwards because I just think it's brilliant. So from just to weave in a little human design and gene keys, if anyone out there is aware of those type of the transits. So we've just transited, actually, I think we might still be transiting through gene key or gate number 27, which 27 is turkey as a one of the animal totems, and it's all about nurture. So nurturing self, and it's Thanksgiving, giving thanks, right? Not the holiday, but the what am I giving thanks for? So I love that the turkeys are saying thank you to the fourth biological through, to the ticks. Thank you for this nourishment. There is this exchange happening. You've done your job, and they come in. So what I heard was a couple of things. I've heard throughout the lines or through different experiences when ticks arrive. This is pre-GNM, but when ticks arrive, what we're all afraid of is getting Lyme, right? I mean, that's really what the fear is about. Like if we were never told that there was this thing that was attached to them, we wouldn't care. They'd be like a fly. They'd be like a flea, but oh, fleas, same thing. They all come with a stigma attached to them. And attachment, separation, even that dynamic right there. So if we kind of like just distill it down. So Lyme, I saw a t-shirt, and I mentioned this in one of the workshops we did. Love yourself more every day. Lyme. That's the message I chose to take when ticks show up, is you need a little bit more kissing. You need a little bit more nurturing. You need a little bit more self-care, self-touch, whatever. You need more interaction with touch. If for me, I am not in the human design world, touch is not my cognition. High sound is, but for people who really need touch, that's a perfect way to say, oh, yes, right? Him and you, because you wouldn't be giving it if you didn't love it and need it and it felt nurturing, right? That's a lot of us are with our animals. And Melissa just said it. I won't be able to like touch the cows, So now you have to be more cognizant. You have to be more aware of, oh, I need this, they need this. So now we're going to make more time for it, more energy for it. So that's the first thing that always is my highlight. So whenever a tick shows up, oof, okay. Instead of saying who needs more love, okay, what can I do in this moment? And sometimes it's just literally saying, oh, thank you, because this is my belief. It's not the old, and I did all the old where I rushed it off and all the things, until I got to a place where I was like, this is ridiculous. This can't be. Wait, what if this was just something somebody sold me and I purchased it with my belief? And it became a pattern. And then, obviously my environment was created based on that belief, that thinking. So that's first, which I love. The other, tying it back to the very beginning where you said, I wasn't sure if I wanted a dog because I was afraid my freedom was going to be taken away. And Melissa brought that right in, which I love, connected to Remy and his presentation on the screen of guilt that I'm leaving now that I've accepted him in my life, God, dog. There's something spiritual happening beyond the dog. We're learning to really like hone in on something very magical and mystical. And it seems to be at the moment we've accepted it in a four-legged cane corso. This is the very first sort of remembering of there's something bigger, grander, and it comes in your case in a grand presence. And so, okay, so we go back for the moment to the tick. Let me ask you for fun, what's the worst thing that happens? The fear about a tick, the fear about getting Lyme, like even to the client, the potential client that comes, that's the mirror that's giving you that opportunity immediately. Wait, okay, turkeys, Thanksgiving, turkeys eat the ticks. Okay, so there's this biological function of all of the animal kingdom. So what am I really, what part of me still thinks, even just the thought, well, I don't want to do that, the old practice anymore. Okay. So what can I exchange that with? Well, perhaps there's something hidden under there still. What am I afraid of? So in Remy's case, it was, I'm afraid my freedom's going to be taken away from me if I have a dog. So if a tick shows up, and 9 times out of 10, we're not seeing all of them. We're just seeing the ones that we cast for the moment in time, right? But they're out there and they're probably in places that we haven't looked, and they've come and gone, just like bees, flies, fleas, all the things, bacteria, all the things. I mean, we're walking, talking microbes. So it's maybe food for thought unless something comes up of what am I afraid of? I don't have control over, like, okay, so if he starts to show symptoms or adaptations of Lyme, which again, this is from the old world, but okay, sluggish or I'm sluggish and I start to, what would that mean? That is that I lose control over something. What is the fear there? Because if we can face and ask and tell the fear, then ticks become our friends and the mascots for, oh, we don't need that anymore. So maybe they come and go less frequently, or we see them less frequently, and they just become a part of our, our kind of chaos of fun at the house instead of the enemy that I need to project my shit onto.
For sure. My answer is coming through as just worry for him. Even if it's a meaningful biological adaptation and it's all for the highest good, still, I love him so much. I don't even want him to endure any pain. That's like pain for me. That's horrible. Right? So then I'd have to remove that too. Like even watching him limp around today, I'm like, it's okay. It's fine that he's limping. He's gonna be okay. You don't need to freak out.
But what if in that moment, as you're talking about, which is not ironic, I had a similar scenario with I have 4 dachshunds. The youngest one spontaneously just started, literally couldn't put his paw down not too long ago. And it was a completely different conflict and resolution. So it wasn't really about the biological adaptation. It was the next step, which is, what am I witnessing? Well, I was feeling extremely guilty about a decision I was making. And he said, okay, I'll show you what this looks like. How that transpired. And I went into mama worry, all of it. I had to carry him and I had the other 3 strapped on me, and we were at an Airbnb, and it was this whole like, oh my God, I'm human, I'm having an experience, and I'm in the AniMirror. Oh my God. And so the next day, when I faced that decision and I confronted it out loud, I swear, out of nowhere, he jumped out of bed as if it never happened. Like, that's it, Mom. You just needed to face, what do you feel guilty about? Well, I feel guilty that you're in pain. Well, what if I'm not in pain? What if, like, when you look in the mirror, do you feel guilty that the mirror is reflecting you? Do you feel bad that the mirror might be reflecting your pain? Like, that's literally what we're talking about. And I know it's a huge stretch in the beginning, but it's the quickest path to, wait, this is only showing me because I'm harboring guilt somewhere about worry, guilt, same thing for me. But the root of this is created because I still feel this somewhere. So if I can at least say, oh, well, what if he's not in pain? Because we don't know. We don't know. Even any animal communicator, I still say, is this really true? How do I know? And then, well, what if it isn't? Just like we went from Western to GNM, what if that isn't true anymore? What if this is true for me now? So a very similar leap. What if he's not in pain? What if he's just showing me what's next for me to alchemize, to then, of course, take this into your practice? This is the healing that people come for, where you're no longer going to attract clients who are feeling like have hidden guilt. They're going to show you where it is, and you're going to be able to say, oh my God, like the turkeys, it's beautiful. Whether they get the magic vial or not, that is me, my old version. Oh, I have to tell you that you can't see it the right way. Whoa, wait a minute. Like back then when I couldn't see it, I've been told, now you're projecting your guilt onto me about where I used to be. And no one would necessarily see that, only I see it now because this is where I'm receiving the information. So you have Remy, who has me in his name, M-E. You also have my in his name. It's mine and it's me. And of course, you have the letter, the prefix re, which is again. Here it comes again. Here it comes again. Here it comes again. I'm reuniting with myself. And what did you say? It was 8 weeks? He was 8 weeks. What comes around goes around. It's always me wherever I go. Here it is. And it's an empowering position. It's thank you, Remy, for bringing me again and again and again in such a powerful presence way and without guilt. The animals are destined to show us this, and they do not worry or care or carry the mental crap we do. They say, oh, this is what she needs to see. Okay. This is what they need to see. Okay. And they're relentlessly loyally. And I mean, everyone knows with dogs in particular, they're extremely loyal and they're so happy to show us our shit to shift. And of course, I don't know if this is something for you, but it really resonated that there might be some nugget here. In his name is also Mère, which is French, which my origin is French Canada also, or anyway, French Canadian. And Mère is see. So not the nuance of, well, both. Can you see me? Can I see me? Can you see you in him? But also that there's this water connection. I don't know if it's personal to you or not, but we are water bodies. There's a beautiful flow and current happening between the two of you. And what better way than to call forth a gigantic presence in a physical presence, right? Of protection, but it's what we need to see in the moment. Meaning, right now, I still think I need protection, perhaps, and not you. Just in general, out of guilt, we project it out, and then we look at it and say, "Oh, good, thank God, I don't have to look at that." But here we are in AniMirror, we do. That's what this is about. Oh, okay. Now I'm ready to look at this differently. So if this is mine and this is me, what's this about? What am I ready to see? So very much like looking at GNM adaptations, this is a mental adaptation of looking in the mirror. So I'm willing to see it differently, and using GNM to guide you and then weave it back around with that 8 is just, it's magical. So to know that what I'm hearing, to know that the adaptations are visuals on the screen. So I'm the dreamer and I've dreamed this scene, and he's your actor. And he's come to play the role to say, Mama, let go of guilt completely. Yes. Here he is.
He's gonna start typing. He's typing.
Oh, good. He's telepathic. We're on to that. I love it. You're the original.
The whole time you were talking, he just got so like rambunctious.
Oh,
But it's great. We're podcasting, sir.
that's perfect. That's confirmation. You're getting it. You're getting it.
You're getting it.
Yes. So when you reunite and when he reunites with the bed or with you in the burping, it's from the AniMirror. It's like there's no guilt. Like, what if I didn't see that? Would I know he still loves me? Like, even though it's a beautiful moment and you're using it, okay, do we need to see that to know that I'm important to him? Or can I say, of course I am, and every time we reunite, that we get to amplify that connection and spread it, whether we're together or apart, truly, because it's really an illusion that we're seeing each other. And just not too long ago, you were afraid to even bring this being home. Now he's home, and now it's like, oh wait, I don't want to leave. And this is the original guilt of separation that we're like playing out. We're not separate. You go on a trip, he's with you. You're with him. It's in our mind that we think we've left. And this is the story of, have we really left home in the presence of dog God, or are we really still home and we're playing out the scene in the movie theater called life? So you called in I want to say Mastiff, literally a mastiff, a massive shift in yourself. Which you clearly are primed for, because
Definitely. That's just so beautiful. I don't have much to say. I'm just basking in it right now. This is so awesome. I appreciate you girls.
it's amazing. I mean, we're always amazed. Every time. This is why it's so fun to just really receive and what you bring. If you think you're, the client, or any scenario where you play the practitioner and the clients come, for me, it's always the opposite. It's, yes, we're hosting this, but I am receiving the gift of, oh, what is Murphy or Remy or Victoria or Andrew even in mention? What are they bringing me? Where am I still holding this? Which, of course, is why we're here, why you're in my presence. So it's really, truly a gift of, okay, what am I ready for today? I didn't know I wanted to face another level of guilt and separation, but it is also this. It's saying thank you, giving thanks, which of course you brought the turkeys in. It's giving thanks, and in the spirit or the name of the human design gate, again, it's the 27. In order to give thanks, it's also this forgiveness, but forgiveness is forgetting to remember or remembering to forget. It's like none of it happened. Opens up this lane to say, oh my God, thank you for playing this role in my movie. I know it didn't happen the way that I really am so sold on it happening. And that's the hardest part, is where we say, oh, but he's in pain, or she's in pain, or she doesn't see it, or he doesn't see it yet. Well, okay. Well, wait a minute. I cast this character. Shit. Okay. So now I can bring it back home again and say, okay, what is this that I'm actually seeing? What is this about for me? Why have I cast this character? And this is the AniMirror. Why has he arrived for all of us? And right on cue, he was like, you got it. Let me type and say, congratulations and Thanksgiving.
That's
Pause on deck.
he would type. That's what he would type. This is also funny. I got the inspo for the name from the movie Ratatouille, the cartoon rat that's blue and tanned, because he's technically blue and tan. So I thought it'd be really funny when he's 140 pounds that the dog is named after a rat. I thought that would be funny. But also the whole movie is about anyone can cook, and like anyone can be anything. And I had a follow-up appointment yesterday with Dr. Catherine Willow, who actually lives literally down the street from me, which is wild. And I was going through with her that I feel like at the bottom, or somewhere near the bottom of all these symptoms and things that I experience, something along the lines of, I have really big dreams and goals, and I feel like I'm not cut out to achieve them. So that is, as you were talking through the Remy and all the meaning, I felt like I had to tell you where I got his name from, because I had never actually thought through the whole anyone can cook piece until you were just talking through that. So
I love that.
Maybe-
And look at the big dream in form. How big is he to show you your dream is possible already? And anything that's standing in the way is nonsense, BS, belief system bullshit. So your dream is huge. You called it in. So he will be your mascot, as you already said, for the business. But it's really it's even more so for you in particular. You already faced one of your fears. That's huge, huge, right? I'm afraid my freedom's going to be taken away. It's a huge admission. And also, okay, maybe it's not the way I think it is. Maybe it's not. So let me face it. And here it is. And so maybe the next one is, well, now that my freedom wasn't taken away, and now I love this being, I love this so much, I don't want to be away from him. Well, what if I'm afraid to be away from him? Something might happen, or whatever the fear might be. Now you're on to the next one. Oh, I'm afraid to chase my dream. Okay. Well, now you have an anchor, a huge anchor called Remy that says, if I face it, this is what I get, is grand love.
literally huge. And this whole time that we were looking at breeds and Andrew really wanted a dog. I was like, okay, I understand, but this whole fear thing, we can at least get a dog that's small enough to come on a plane. What if we need to flee the country again? You know, just smaller, you know, it doesn't have to be so big. And he was adamant on this breed, and it had to be this big and all these things, and I just had to go with it. So,
Well, Melissa, you have a beautiful like reflection of just as I hear it together, like they just moved, and I'm on my mind, I'm going, holy crap, she has a whole farm to move. Like, how is that? I have 4 dogs and myself, and we've moved back and forth, and that's a nightmare in itself. But wait a minute, how are you going to do this? And manifesto, here it is. Everyone's good. All the people to support move along. So, you know, just already you have the reflection in front of you on the screen. Well, okay, it's not exactly fleeing the country, and yeah, okay, but you already know that there's someone's already reflecting, oh, it's going to be easy, it's going to flow, and all the right people are going to be there if that had to happen. So it's sort of like, well, it's only happening here. It didn't happen. What if is it's here. So you're using your dream energy in a way that might not be resourceful for you or him, because you know where we focus is where it will go. So, but it's just nice to know already. Oh, that I'll tell you right now, that's not true, because she already mirrored that. Anything's possible with an entire farm. So
if Melissa can move an entire farm, I can do anything.
there you go. She solved it. World peace. Everyone's good.
World peace.
It did. It came together so beautifully. And another name meaning with Remy, it's a French name. It means oarsman or rower. The name also carries symbolic meaning of perseverance and the ability to navigate life's challenges, mirroring, it says, the role of the oarsman in navigating the waterways. You know, so here you are navigating life's challenges. Here you are with a for sale sign at the property where your business and home, like everything is housed here, right? And it's like, oh, here's another challenge. Are we going to feel stuck? Are we going to feel, are we going to go through self-devaluation? What are we going to do? Or are we going to navigate life's challenges with creativity and knowing that, it's always this or something better. And it's like, oh, something better must be in store. If this place is for sale, right? And this place where our business is, it's like, am I going to, sink into fear or worry? Am I big enough to, am I going to be able to create this big vision, this thing that I'm desiring, like this thing that seems huge and I feel small, right? Or am I going to, say, oh, this must be the window, the door, the opportunity to that bigger thing that I know that I'm, built for, that we, you, your fiance, this, your family, your dog, that you guys are going somewhere bigger, better, grander, and he's here to help navigate and to show you, and it's like, what can I glean from, okay, this limp, it was worse today. When did the sign go up? The sign, went up the last, oh, here we are waking up to, what are we going to do with this? How are we going to feel about this? Are we going to go into, a fear-based reaction, or are we going to go, oh, this, big things are happening for you. Big things are coming for you, right? And you are, I think, realizing your capability, and that this, if the dream is there for you, that the path, that the waterway is there for you, and it's simply a matter of navigating it, and navigating it with confidence, and navigating it with knowing that your outcome is secured, as long as you hold the vision.
Yeah. Even the sail. Oh my God. The sail, the word sail. Come on. Wait, it's a stretch, but it's not a stretch. There has the word sea in it. Okay. And it has the L, which is your oar as you navigate in open waters. So just,
I just have to say, all he does is sleep. Like, he's literally has not done this since like the week we got him. I've never seen this much energy on him. I might have to put you in your crate. Do you want to listen to them from your crate? He's picking up what you're putting down.
Good job, Remy.
He is. I think he is.
Take a bite out of life.
Say thank you. Say thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Remy. We appreciate you coming on and being the star of the show today, because that's why this class exists. That's why we do these workshops, is because these animals have so much to say, so much to share, so much to reveal, and Yeah, Amy was the one who heard the call and was like, hey, these animals really want to show us things through their symptoms, through their names, through when they came and where they came from. It's like San Francisco to Ottawa. It's like the whole thing. It's all so beautiful and perfect.
Yeah. Anything else coming up for you, Victoria, about anything before we wrap up? Back to the beginning, any other further, I don't know, thoughts or things that have come up about the hiccups or the leg or anything else in general?
Well, we took him to a holistic vet appointment at 8 weeks because that's what you're supposed to do. And we had this contract with the breeder that you have to do that at 8 weeks. And that for me was this whole, what are we going to do at the appointment? What if they try to get us to do something I don't want to do? And the vet was lovely. The clinic was lovely. It was like a home. The doctor was amazing. You gotta chill, please. Please. Sorry. And that was, I guess, like a bigger moment for me is, they asked very politely, do you want to consider XYZ vaccine and all these other things? And it was a real conflict moment for me of what is the right thing to do here? And it took me like 20 minutes of sitting there, and they like gave us time to sit and think about it, and ended up going with no. And just trusting that that was the right decision. But in that appointment, she did the whole, analysis of him and his skin and his body. And she just kept saying, he's very light, he's very sensitive, like he's a big breed, but his coloring is very light. Like she just kept saying all these things about him, whether true or not, that felt like she was just literally talking to me. And then another point, she took his heart rate and she was like, okay, it's about 20 beats per minute higher than normal. I was like, mine is. So just listening to you two talk about the mirror aspect, it just rings very true.
Totally.
We don't mind him talking. We love it. They always chime in at the right moment.
Yeah, they really are. They're just that, like, from the symptoms that show up when you're in the vet's office to your own symptoms to the way, yeah. And this is how, I mean, in previous workshops too, it's like, oh, the way that this person is describing my dog is me. This is me 100%. And it's really cool how the perfect animal shows up at the perfect time, despite our best efforts to keep them out, right? There are animals that I'm like, do we need this animal? And like the animal comes and it's always perfect. It's really, it's just a beautiful way to go through life, is like seeing everything and for that symbolic meaning and representation for those who are willing to see it. So we appreciate that you're willing to see it.
Yeah, it's everything, including going to the vet. The vet is you. That grace that you were offered for 20 minutes for that decision was, can I let go of the guilt about the decision I'm about to make, regardless of what the decision was? And that is, you called in that actress or actor for yourself. It is you. Oh, I am willing to let go of some of this. Whether it doesn't matter the decision, take judgment out of it completely. And even that, wherever you go, there you are. So you'll call in your clients that are you'll call in partners that are you. And me personally, it's quite literal. Not everyone agrees, but for me, that's how I get into the rabbit hole faster. It's not easy, and I'm willing to face it. And it's intense, but if I don't face it there, I'll face it 12 other ways. So I might as well just face it head on. And I love the grace of the admission. I'm remembering, of course, with you, through you, from you. My very first dog, I did not want to invite a dog in, and I admitted at the time very quietly, I don't want to bring him home, whoever he might be. And I think I knew it was a boy at the time, because I'm afraid he's going to die. And of course, he was going to disappear from the dream that I created. Now, that was in 2008. And the reason I became an end-of-life doula for animals is because he died, because he taught me through his death transition that it isn't real, and everything changed from there. So what you just invited in is so bigger, it matches your big dream that that it's going to unfold. You know, like he's can't put baby in a cage. He's going to teach you that, right? I have too much energy. Don't put me in a cage. I just want to run free. We've had we one of our original AniMirror groups, we had a very similar big dog, and his name is Aris, and he was like, do not cage me. I don't even want to be leashed. I want to be free. And so there was this whole unfolding of what is it like to have a free mind, free of guilt, free of worry. So there's all the nuances of that. But just to, I admire and I celebrate, you know, out loud, oof, facing the fear, saying it out loud, and then it's gone. And then here comes the big dream, 4 legs. And now what do you have for me, Remy? That's one way to kind of take it on is, what are you showing me now? Oof, I don't want to look at this. Okay, let's do it. That's, you know, here you are, whole new world, whole new world.
I even wonder the, devaluation element with the leg. I chatted with Melissa about this when I met her actually in January in Austin, that my fiance has been experiencing symptoms this year for the first time, I swear, in his whole life. He's like rock solid, never has any physical symptoms of any kind. Remy. And he has been experiencing pretty nagging chronic hip, I believe in his left side. I'm just curious if he's mirroring Andrew as well.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And his is he left dominant, Andrew, left or right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So that's his, mother-child side. And so, yeah. So what is he devaluing himself? Like, what's going on? Is it, is it business? Is it work? And yeah, because he is in his sphere of influence as well. And so there certainly could be mirroring going on between the two of them.
And of course, what you're ready to see in Andrew for you. And you said it at the top of it, but just to hear it back is really, it's not as it's a blame game. It's, oh, okay, I don't know, not yet. Okay, Remy, okay, Andrew, okay, okay, if I have been pretty much symptom free my whole life, and I don't that doesn't mean anything other than I adapt different ways emotionally, constellations, all the things. But what I just heard was, oh, for the first time in a long time, his body is resolving something because he's willing to see it, resolve it. It doesn't have to see it and feel it, but it is part of maybe welcome to GNM, where same with me, I walked into language of adaptation with Melissa, and all of a sudden something happened, and I never have physical symptoms, but it was, oh, you need to resolve this, and I need to know it works. I need to know how my mind works and how my body adapts. And that just took off from there, and here we are. So we can say it's him and he's doing his thing, which is amazing. Now you have 2 people looking at it. And then also, if you have a partner, which I don't know if that's the case in yours, but mine, where they don't look at it the same way, it doesn't matter because it's me. And so for me, I want to say, but can you look at this? Because I don't want to. But that would just be projecting onto the other person instead of, oh, you're showing me on the screen a new scene, and crap, it's a lot. But, well, this is what I came for. I came to see all of it. I came to see all of it out of here onto the, is he, Remy's voicing himself.
Like,
it's okay. It's probably a wrap.
trying to
Why
not
do that?
ruin their audio.
Oh, no.
Actually, we can't hear anything.
We can't.
Yeah.
Doom does such a good job, like with background. We didn't hear him once. So
Even if
all
we
is
did,
well.
it would be fine.
You
Yeah.
hear him now?
No, I know, but
Melissa and I are okay hearing ourselves. This is here we are. This is perfect reflection. We don't hear it because we're super okay. Like
That's awesome.
even if he did voice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I guess it is an AniMirror podcast, there can be dogs whining in the back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We
Yes,
welcome it.
we
So
certainly
fun.
do. Awesome. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Victoria. This has been absolutely a joy to unravel with you. And yeah, so it's just about bringing these things, speaking them out, even just talking about him, getting his reflection. It's like the resolution, like it sounds like, because obviously by the time there's pain and swelling, there's already resolution. But when we talk about it, when we talk through it, like Amy's experience that these limps can just go away as soon as we no longer need to learn from it, as soon as the process is like completed. And so yeah, we are excited to hear any follow-ups from Remy, and we'd love to see you back at another AniMirror experience with us.
I would absolutely love that. This was so needed today. Just so beautiful, so lovely to listen to you two and just absorb all of this. It's been awesome.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much for your willingness to not just be on an impromptu live experience as a podcast, but also to come forth and mirror for us. And here's that Pearl or Klaus
This
comes
is
right
Klaus.
in.
Yes.
Klaus, it's time, ladies, it's time, he says. Thank you so much for your willingness. Your willingness changes everything around you. The whole scene changes. It's brilliant.
Thank you both. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Best to everyone. Bye.
Bye, Remy.
We hope that the messages from today's episode landed with you. Your animal knows, nature knows, your biology knows.
Everything reflects you. Every symptom, sensation, and synchronicity. It's all a mirror.
If you're ready to go deeper, join us inside the full 15-module AniMirror course, or come alive with us in the next AniMirror live experience. You can check animirror.com for upcoming dates.
You can also book a private AniMirror immersion with both of us if you want to dive deeper and more privately if you wish. Contact us at support@animirror.com.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the AniMirror podcast on YouTube and Spotify.
Until next time, if you dare to be willing to look into the mirror, we're here.